prefer Asian over a Black American. Wow. Wow. She says she prefer an Asian guy over a Black American. Damn. You hear that, fellas? So you ain't got no shot if you listen to this. So she already let you guys know.
I don't have problem with Black American, no, but I still prefer Asian.
Why would you?
Here we are. Live, live, live. Now, just temporarily, we moved the show over here to the date site, to the marrying or the mgdating.com site, as for whatever reason I'm having trouble recovering our account that was seemingly hacked. So we're gonna do it here. We're gonna do it here right here tonight. Welcome to the Marrying Ghana show. Tonight. How Stella couldn't get her hair back. I just said it all wrong. How Stella got a groove back. It's the name of the movie. I'm up here talking about hair, so I'm dumb as hell. How Stella got a groove back. I thought of this movie. Actually, what was it on? Some particular channel, I don't know. But this movie is starring Angela Bassett and Taye Diggs. Oh, Whoopi Goldberg, Regina King, and Suzanne Douglas was also a part of this movie. How Stella got a groove back. Now, this movie is a depiction of an older woman. I believe she's in her 40s, played by Angela Bassett, who has a hellish time dealing with relationships as a successful Black woman in America. So she gets so frustrated to the point that she picks up and leave and go over to the islands. I don't know if it's Africa or the Caribbean. Meets her Prince Charming, played by Taye Diggs, as a Caribbean or African Black man, and falls in love with a young Black African or Caribbean man. So this movie is like status quo for people today. If you look at modern women today, this is their playbook. There's only one problem. This playbook doesn't exist in reality. Can it happen? A lot of things can happen in life. Probability versus possibility. Possible? Yes. Probable? Not. But here we are in 2022, dealing with the modern woman today. And it's amazing that we've gotten here. For all you guys joining, like I said, we just moved the show over to this particular channel just for today, as we're having trouble. Oh, the guests? All right. Let me get the guests ready. So give me 1 second. We got a couple guests coming on.
Stella, when was the last time you had a decent date? Tell the truth. Don't talk to me for the next 2 hours. Oh. I need 20 clients back to back to back.
All work and no play.
Do you want to be rich?
Made Stella a big success.
Or do you want to wallow in regret?
But everyone knew she needed a vacation.
You ain't been nowhere since I was a natural blonde.
Except Stella.
We're going to Jamaica. What? I want you to try to have some fun. Sure. I mean it.
This one looks like a
You can't be serious. He looks that good with his clothes on. Ooh, if I weren't in my right mind, I swear you were trying to hit on me. Are you paying attention?
All right.
Sorry, dear, you're a crazy.
All right, let's get this show going, man. We don't want to do too much talking. All right, so let's line up our first guest.
I hope I'm doing this right.
Hey.
Hey. What's going on? What's going on?
Mm,
Give me
tired,
1 second.
just
Go
tired.
ahead.
What you
All
got?
right. You understand what we're talking about today?
Yeah, I think I remember the movie you're talking about.
Yeah. Black American movie. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure it was played by when it was played by Tay Diggs. She went over to the Caribbeans or whatever. But a woman in her 40s, successful black woman, as they say, financially, um, go over there, meets her Prince Charming, who's like 20 years younger, and they fall in love and go through their ups and downs and live happily ever after. If you look at it today, a lot of women are using that playbook, not because of desire, but because of desperation. And the reason why I say that, if you look at like the Erica Badu's, the Trinas of the world, all these chicks that were hot in their prime, but then they got older, and then they got to the point that they realized that no man, according to the type of man that they would desire, successful black men would choose them. And we understand why. But when they press their prime, their only option is to get one thing. The only option that they have left is to get a younger man. And one thing that all these young men have in common, even with the movie, that they are not successful. They have nothing going on for themselves. So when they get in their 40s and 50s, it's like a pay for play. So they pay for play. And we're starting to see it. Well, it's always been around, but we're starting to see it more and more in the public eye. And the reason why I named this, I don't even want to name this how Stella got her groove back. I'd rather name it how Stella couldn't get her groove back. Because what a lot of ladies are not understanding is once you set past a specific mark, a specific age, your options not only tear off or drop, you no longer have those options that you once had in your 20s and your early 30s. So
Yeah.
right now, it's being said at the age of 35, if you haven't gotten your husband, your home, and your children by the age of 35, in all likelihood, you're not going to get that.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I think you just you just said the whole truth. That's why our mothers always advise us that once you are young, that's the best time for you to make sure you get a stable home, you get a fit husband, someone who is responsible and is able to keep a home, like take care of you, have kids and all that. Not just that, but women, they always say women are like flowers. We just glow in the morning and in the evening we're gone. Our beauty, our beauty fades so quickly and very, very, very fast. So whilst you are in your prime age, whilst you are in your prime period, you have to make good use of it. Like we always say, your mid 20s, your early 30s, you should be able to have a home. And then we know kids comes from God, but you should at least have a husband, a good husband. And then that will give you some guarantee, or I'm going to have a home eventually, like with kids and all that. So, with now women chasing their dreams, like I want this, I want that, based on the way men treat them, because in the olden days, you see how men go around sleeping around, bringing kids home, and our great grandmothers tolerate all that. But like you said, they still kept their home. Like you still have your family all together. So if you're trying to leave, you have nothing, because the olden days, the man is the one who goes out and do all the work and then bring in everything. So you have no choice than to stay. And that is why we take that perception that instead of me going through that, I'd rather pursue something on my own. I'd rather try to push myself a little bit higher to earn something for myself. So when these situations happen, you will not be let not be come out of the marriage empty-handed. Even though no one marriage get into marriage just to divorce. Nobody have that kind of mindset. But situations happen, things happen. You have to plan for the unforeseen.
Yeah, but all right. Let's welcome our next guest to the show. Welcome to the show. This is the Mary Ghana Show.
Hi.
Name and where you're calling from.
I'm Kere. I'm calling from Nigeria.
What is your name?
Harmony.
Comedy.
Harmony.
Harmony.
Oh, Harmony.
Harmony.
Okay,
Yes.
Harmony. Beautiful name. Um, so what you got for us today? Do you understand what we're discussing here today?
Kind of.
All right. Do you have a question?
No. No. I'm still getting the hang of it. Like,
All right. This
I'm still hearing.
this is what we're discussing.
Okay.
Women, how old are you? First of all.
20.
Oh, you're young. You got a ways to go. You got about 2 more years, I would say. Not a long way, but 2 more years or something. So you're not there yet. Are you in a relationship?
No.
Have you ever been? How long did it last? What is that, like
I
a
know.
1 week thing? Like the 1 week response?
No. No. I don't even know if I can call it a relationship.
After you had sex with the guy, did it last at least 30 more days after that?
So if I had sex with the guy.
Huh?
Okay, let me say it this way. I've not really been in any relationship that requires
Oh,
seriousness.
So you're a virgin, basically. Huh?
Yeah.
Oh, nothing wrong with that. Beautiful thing. All right. Well, we might just be able to help you here. So,
Okay.
no, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. See, what I love about my sisters on the continent is not hard to find a young lady in her 20s who's still a virgin. Here in America, that's damn near impossible. I mean, you got a better shot at winning $100 million lottery 7 times out of 7 days than finding a woman who's a virgin in her 20s in America. But that's cool though. What we do here, basically, the point of this show, I'm a little off tonight because a lot has been happening behind the scenes here. But what we do on the show, we bring people on, we discuss the topic of the day or the evening, and we get their background, whatever. And the purpose of this show is to give another outlook from our African American brothers here in the diaspora, to show them that the type of women, the traditional women that they desire are out there. The majority of them may be on the continent of Africa, but they're out there. So it's no need for men to continue to complain and think they have to settle here in America when instead of going outside of your race to find somebody white, Asian, or Hispanic, whatever it may be, nothing wrong with that. But a lot of brothers want to stay, in particular, black men like to marry black women. So this gives black men an option to see that there's millions of black women who are traditional women out there who are still seeking to find a good black man. Do you ever want to be married?
Yes, for sure.
Do you ever want to have kids?
Yes.
What do you do for a living? Or I'm pretty sure you're a student at the age of 20.
Yes, I'm a student.
What are you taking out? Let me see. Biotech?
No.
Oh.
No, not at all.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. I just wanted to hear something different because so many of our African sisters are taking up the same thing. But what are you studying?
I'm in accounting.
Accounting? Accounting?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Yes.
Oh, you'll definitely you'll do well in life. As long as you stay on course, do whatever, just do well in life. Accounting, I actually wanted to be an accountant when I was younger. I used to love, it's funny because I hated math when I was in my elementary days, but when I got to high school, I started to love math. But you have to love numbers to be an accountant. How many more years you got left?
2.
Oh, so you'll be well on your way. Any prospects as far as where you'll work?
Oh, no. I actually want to go like when I'm done, then do my PhD, masters and PhD and all, go into the educational sector.
All right. You was raised by mom and dad?
Hmm?
Were you raised by mom and dad?
Yeah.
They still alive?
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Before we go any further, have you ever seen this movie called Stella Got a Groove Back? It's a very famous movie.
Mm.
All right. See, this is where the disconnect come in. Y'all guys, we got to start sharing movie ideas for y'all to watch our movies, so y'all can kind of learn the culture more. As we like, I'm a Nollywood fanatic, so I know all about Nollywood and Gollywood and all that. But I'm trying to get my brothers over here more interactive with that. We got to start exchanging our cultures, man, so we can learn each other better. But how Stella Got a Groove Back, as I said earlier, is a culture, a part of the culture that's going on in Black America. And the movie is based on the very thing you see today. There's a Black, financially successful woman in her 40s or 50s, I believe, named Stella, played by Angela Bassett. Her love life is completely hellish. She can never get it together. According to the movie, Black Men Ain't Ish. So Stella goes over to Africa, whatever it is, and finds her strong Black African savior. But the thing is, she's in her 50s and the guy's like 20 or something. So they're like 20 or 30 years apart. So they go through their ups and downs. And at the end of the movie, like most movies, is a happy ending. The African king or whatever you want to call him runs back, follows her to America, makes up, they live happily ever after and go have beautiful kids. Lovely story, right? Right?
Lovely.
Yeah, the
Yes.
problem is it's not realistic. And people
It's not
yes,
realistic.
people try to live this out and don't understand this is not realistic. A lot of our famous celebrities here who are females in Black America, like the Erykah Badu's, the Trinas, and there's a whole list of people that I can't even name right now. One day after day, there's another one coming out. Now I think it's Thaddy Newton. Remember the girl? This is to Rookie. Remember the girl who we spoke about who had the white husband and just got dumped by her husband and kicked off the movie set, Magic Mike. So now she's been spotted with a 20-something-year-old broke rapper, and she's in her 50s. She's 52. You see what I'm saying? So this is happening all over the place, that you're getting women who are in their 40s and 50s who are dating these younger men, not by choice, not by desire, but out of desperation. Because they understand, they've gotten to a point in life, they realize that no way in hell am I going to be able to compete with the 20, 21, 22-year-old girls, especially in your part, like virgins. What man being a I got something in my throat since earlier. A successful Black man, say like you're a 40-year-old man, success, everything. You're financially capable of doing the things that you desire to do in life. Is it likely that you're going to go and choose a 50-year-old woman who probably have 4 or 5 kids, or you being that successful Black man are going to go choose that 20-year-old virgin who never gave a kid to anybody?
I think the 20-year-old.
Yeah, but it makes sense, right?
Like,
It makes a lot of sense, right?
yeah.
The problem is with these women following this game plan in this movie, How Stella Got a Groove Back, is they don't realize that life don't work that way until it's too late. You're 20. You want to be married. You haven't given anybody kids. You're doing it the right way. But the majority of our sisters, especially in Black America, don't understand that, how to do it the right way. And by the time they're playing their games, going out and having hot girl summer for 10, 15 years, having a body count in double digits and sometimes triple digits, then they think they could turn around at the age of 35 and 40 and go find Prince Charming. Go find that so-called good black man. The problem is good black men don't want women who have been used and abused for 15 years, and then they want to take that and take that load. It's basically insanity. Because I say insanity because it keeps happening over and over and over and over. Nobody's learning from it. And the way that I feel is through this show, the sisters could look upon y'all in Africa and learn from y'all. Not that anybody in Africa have it all together, but there are some things that y'all sisters do better than others. At what age would you like to be married, Harmony?
25.
All right. Why do you say
Yeah,
25? I'm
25.
curious.
Okay, I believe I'll be done with school then and everything, and I'll be working. So I believe I'll be ready. Use that word, ready,
You'll be okay, meaning what? Financially?
financially and otherwise.
Yeah, financially. Why do you want to? So you're just at the age of 25. You want to marry a man in poverty, right?
No, no, no,
You want to marry a man who has
no.
something, who can provide.
Yes, can provide
So
at
why are you waiting
least.
to 25 for you to be financially okay if you're looking to marry a man who's able to provide in the first place?
Not to me, nothing is certain. Nothing is certain. You don't know what can happen. Things can happen along the way, and I won't want to be dependent on someone. So let's just put it that way.
All right. Maybe because the rules are different there in Africa than they are here. You get married to a provider, things don't work out. Fine, you go your way. You get alimony in some states, child support in others. So it's not like in Africa where the man can totally abandon you and just leave you hanging. So I understand that. But even with that said, if even you being in Africa, West Africa, Nigeria, if you married a man who was a
Mhm.
provider, is it not better to seek that out the younger you are and throughout your years, whatever work you're doing, huh?
No, 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 no,
Okay, go ahead and
no,
explain.
no, 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 no. No, I would. My mom would always tell me that it's better you have, if you want to have kids, better you have your children at a younger age. I love children naturally, so I would rather have my children at a younger age, so I'll grow together with them. I want to be looking old and haggard, and my children will still be young. No, 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 I don't want that.
No,
I don't want
that's what I'm
that.
saying. I'm saying that if the right man came along at the age of 21, you're going to tell him, no, I'm going to wait until I'm 25. I'm curious.
No, no, I don't know. I don't know.
Look,
I don't know about that.
your mom
No, I
told you
don't
what?
say.
Your mom also probably told you that make sure you have something for yourself, right?
Mm-mm. Immediately I turned 20, she said I
Huh?
should bring her. Immediately I turned 20, she said I should start getting her in already.
Oh, she wants you to get married now.
No, well, she said there's nothing wrong. From the age of 18, there's nothing wrong. And I'm like, really? Well, I'm like,
So mom says there's nothing wrong with waiting to 25 to get married.
well, she prefer if it's earlier too.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. So miscommunication. So she wants you to get married a little. She prefers it to be a little earlier.
Yeah, very early, but don't prefer. No.
Well, knowing
Okay,
that
let me say.
men like younger women, men who are providers, productive men in our society like younger women, you're doing it at 21. You're going to have a greater advantage at 21 to find one of those men than you will at 25. Wouldn't you agree?
I don't know about here.
I mean,
Maybe,
it's simple math,
but
though. You're an accountant. So you being an accountant, you
yes.
understand numbers, right?
Hmm?
21 is younger than 25, correct?
Yes.
If men, the younger you are of age, of course, to marrying age, men value that. Your value is in your youth, in your womb. You
Mm-hmm.
being having your womb untouched, even with that, which is of extreme high value. I agree with that. But also, you doing it at 21 are going to have a lot more options than you will at 25. It's not going to be a dramatic difference. I'm not going to try to sell you on that like it would be. That's because you still have an untouched womb. But
Mm-hmm.
anything can happen in the next 5 years. Are you still going to be untouched at the age of 25?
I don't know. Anything can happen. Like you said, anything
Exactly.
can happen.
Exactly. So you're proving my point. Anything can happen. So if anything can happen and you are at your highest value as of today, 20 years old, virgin, as of today, you are at the highest as far as the market value. As far as your value as a woman, you are at your highest peak than more than you will ever be. Each year that
Mm-hmm.
goes down. And if you lose the untouched, the untouched womb, then your market value goes down even further. You being at your highest, your value more, you'll be more value, you're more valuable today than you will ever be. Do you understand that concept? You're more
Yeah.
valuable to you're more oh man, you're more valuable today than you will ever be. At the age of
Mm-hmm.
25, you will still be valuable, but you won't be as valuable as you were when you were 20 and 21.
Mm-hmm.
What is it that you really want to do between 20 and 25 that you can make it now, whereas you got to wait till 25?
I personally don't like when I'm in school and I am married. I feel it's distracting. So I would want to finish my schooling first. At least my schooling.
All right, I get that. Being young and being married and being in school, I get that. But
Mm.
you with 2 more years left, that leaves you at 22 years old. From 22 out of school
Mm-hmm.
on to 25, that's still 3 years. What are you doing in those 3 years?
What am I doing in those 3 years?
Looking for what?
All I could, I'm fulfilling my dreams.
But
Before,
so you mean to tell me that? But
I'm
hold up. You started off telling me as if your dream was to be married, have kids, and have a beautiful
no,
wife, right?
that's after. That's after I'm done with what I want to do when I'm still
What is it?
alone.
See, you don't want to. I know where this is heading. I know exactly where this is headed for. What is it that you want to do in them 3 years that you can't do with your husband?
Uh,
See,
I don't really know.
see,
I don't really know,
listen,
but I don't know. I
listen,
just feel
So let me
men.
answer her.
Wait,
All women wants to
this is
play.
what's happening. See, 20, you want to spend in 3 years after school to go live life before you get married. I see. Yeah, I don't see any good in that, to be honest. I see disaster in that. I don't see any good in that because we know what happens between them 3 years. Then, but that 25, you get a taste of them 3 years. And you're like, you know what? Let me push that 25 back to 27. Then, while I'm working and my career is taking off now, let me push that 27 back to 30. I'm 30. I'm having hot girl summer. I'm traveling now. I'm making more money than I ever made in my life. I'm able to go buy my mom and dad a new car and maybe some renovations on a new house, on an old house or whatever. So I'm doing extremely well. So I'm gonna push that 30 back to 35. And I see her network freezing. So I'm gonna give her a little time. But if she can hear me, this is how these ladies of today become Stella. This is just how it begins. And it's like we're looking at the beginning. This is the very beginning of how it begins with these women, man. But you understand what I'm saying? You
Of course,
tell me.
and
You tell me.
yeah, I understand you. And you were saying the truth, 100% of the truth. We all know that. You think women don't know? We do know. Whilst we are busy chasing our dreams, trying to secure the future by having enough money in a bank account, stability in a whole lot of aspect before getting married. Before you come back, it's too late. That's why sometimes I watch the same movie, but it's in a different concept. They knew each other from college, I guess, yeah, and then they were madly in love. The lady wanted to pursue her education, get her master's, and all that. The guy was like, "I want to marry. I need to start a family," but she wasn't ready. He was like, "You can marry if you want to, but I still have to secure a whole lot of things. I have to advance in my education." So the guy went ahead, get married, have kids, and all that. By the time she was done with her education, gaining the whole money she wanted to get, and no money is enough for us. When you get this, you want more, and your time keep going up, and before you realize it's
You'll
over.
always want more. But when you get to that particular point, that 35, 40-year-old mark, no matter how much more you want, you only want to get less. Welcome to the show, Jen.
Thank you.
All right.
Good day.
Before I go any further, what you got on the subject? What you got for me?
I think basically wrong timing getting married.
Say what?
I said basically wrong timing to get married.
Wrong timing. Explain. What do you mean?
Yeah.
Are you talking about the previous guest?
No. Like the topic in general. That's what I'm saying.
All right. Let's get her back in because she dropped off.
Okay.
I thought she was coming back on. Okay, only 3-2 room. Rookie, you drop out, and I'm gonna have you come back in.
Okay, all right.
Oh, there she go. Okay, we got her.
Okay.
All right, Harmony,
Thank you.
you back. Welcome back.
Yeah, thank you.
Harmony, can you hear me? You there?
I can hear you.
All right. You were saying you dropped off for a second, but what I was saying is that the very way you explained it is the very way people get to that 35 mark that we're talking about and become Stella. So by the very way that you explained yourself and how you plan life out, you're likely to become Stella in about 15 years.
Well, no, I don't. I personally don't think I'll become Stella. No,
Nobody ever thinks they're going to become Stella. I mean, nobody
it does happen.
gets up in the morning out of bed at 20 years old and say, "Damn, I think I'm going to want to become Stella." It's not something that people set out for, but and the decisions you make leads you up to that. And the very things that lead people to become Stella have the very same plans and ideas that you have.
It just happens. It just happens sometimes. But I think
What just
I
happened?
don't think
What do you mean it just happened?
like.
What happens?
Okay, I can give a story of my sister personally. Okay, we know normally all my sisters we plan at the age of 25 should be the highest, like it's a benchmark at the age of 25. That time you should be married and thinking of your children and all. That's just the benchmark. But now she's approaching, let's say 30, and it's I don't say she lost it at the point. She likes that word. Yeah, she lost it at the point due to distractions and living the high life. Let me be living the high life. Want to have they don't have a focused goal and all. So school was not completed on time and all. But now I have my goal focused and I know where I want to be. So
your sister
we're just going to
basically you saying that your older sister screwed herself by not focusing on her education, and now she don't have anything to lean back on. I'm saying it. You don't have to say it. I'm saying it. Is your sister married?
No,
And she's in her 30s?
almost. She's
So-
still late 20s.
And she's finding it very hard to find a suitable husband who's able to provide. Am I right?
She has really high taste.
The list.
Can't make this shit up. Can't make this shit up. Listen,
She has really high taste.
listen to this. Let me run it back for you. Her sister,
Okay.
let's say 30 years old, didn't focus on her education, has nothing to lean back on, went out there and played the field with many boyfriends. Now, now she's at the point that she can't settle for less, as they call it, which means she won't settle for anything but the 6 foot, 6 pack, whatever long, beautiful, handsome man that makes 6 figures or above. If not for that,
Okay.
see, you see what I'm saying? If not for that, she can't take it. She can't take it. But yet, she's 30, been around the block. Don't understand the men that she desire can only use her for one thing, and that's sex. And a lot of ladies don't understand it. I don't know, is it pure ignorance or they just don't want to accept the fact that that's what it is? No man who has many options, men who are handsome, make 6 figures, have a lot of options. No man who has a lot of options is seeking for a 30-year-old who's been around the block and hasn't even focused on that own education. Didn't add any value to herself when she was young. So how can she be valuable now?
Well, miracles
You
can
know the answer
happen.
to that. You know the answer to that. So you're saying when I said that you're heading in a very dark. Well, I can't even call her Stella, because when I say Stella, I means women who are educated, have a career path.
She's educated. She graduated. She's graduated.
What, graduated high
She's
school?
no university.
When you said she
She's
didn't
an
focus on her
economist.
education, I thought you meant she, didn't go far.
She's working. Let's just put it that way.
What does
She's
she do for a
working.
living? What does she do for a living?
She's a fashion designer. Let's put it that way. Yeah. Then she's an economist.
Is she designing for the
She's not into
celebrities?
the work.
I'm asking you. Is she a fashion
Yeah,
designer for the celebrity market?
yeah. She's designing for upcoming celebrities.
Really?
Yeah. She's designing for upcoming celebrities.
You know when you can tell a person is lying? When they start looking around, thinking like they trying to swat a fly or something, and they just trying to grab stuff out the air to relay out their mouth. That's when you know somebody's lying. But basically, she's a fashion designer doing what a lot of people in Nigeria do. Likely is not a high earner, which is why she wants a high earning boyfriend that she could turn into a husband. The problem is that for your sister, it's not going to happen unless she was a 10 or a 9, like drop dead Geneve type gorgeous. It's not going to happen for her. And she's going to find herself at the age of 35, and it's going to be all over.
She's hearing you.
Some ladies, I think some ladies, let me use her own mentality now. Some ladies just believe marriage is not for everybody.
No, marriage ain't for
Just
everybody.
believe it's
Because a
not
lot of people are not fit for marriage. So you're right about that. Even more men are fit for marriage than it is women. Easily. There are more, I'm talking about percentage wise. Men are better suited for marriage than women are. And here's the reason. When you're young, you want to go out and play the field. At a particular age that you should be preparing yourself for marriage and looking for your husband. Then by the time you want a husband, when you hit 30 and above, the type of men you desire aren't desiring you. They're desiring you when you were 20. They're desiring your competition. That's why I say that women today are not suited for marriage. You want to spend 22 to 25 going out and doing what you want to do. That is not going to benefit and prepare you to be a better wife. The only thing that can prepare you to be a better wife is, instead of spending them 3 years after school to run around, run a field, have hot sex with the fuck boys out there, is finding your husband as soon as possible so that y'all could build with each other. When y'all build with each other, y'all learn with each other. When y'all learn each other, y'all grow with each other. And you doing it when you're young alleviates a whole lot of other problems that a lot of people face. See, women, it's said in the Bible that a woman is to leave her father and go to her husband. But like you're leaving your father's house to jump to university, then jump out in the field, and then go look for a husband. It's
Are
all
you
backwards.
are you saying women should not be educated? Women
I'm,
should not go to
I'm
school?
just saying that it's all backwards.
You go to school from your parents' place. You're still in your parents' place, though. You didn't live there.
No, today, I'm talking about today's women. See, I speak from Black America standpoint. I understand that things are a little different there in Africa, but let me explain how Black America works. You turn 18, you graduate from school, you go off to college for 8 years, 4 years, 8 years, whatever it is. You're not at your parents. You're living in the dormitory. It's said that women of other races like white, Asian, and so forth, a lot of them find their husband when they're in college. The difference between the white and the Asians is that they go seeking for their husband while they're studying for their BA, master's, or whatever it is. Black women, y'all wait until after you get out of school and after you started your career to go look for a husband. By that time, the type of men that these women want don't want them. And I'm not saying that it has anything to do with beauty. Men who are successful desire younger women. And a lot of these women today, after you get out of college and play the field, then you have a baby daddy or two. Men don't want that. The only type of men that can deal with that are the men who don't have anything going on for themselves. But in turn, those women don't want those men. So what happens is you got these women who can't get what they want, and years and years and years and years are going by. And these men who are not what they want can't get what they want because nobody wants them. And what happens is they just become fuck partners. And there's no marriages that are built today. Why do you think we're at the lowest that we ever been when it comes to marriage? Why do you think that 88% of children in Black America are born out of wedlock? Because nothing is being done right. You're saying that just like Jenny, I heard you say, yeah, you can't forego your education. You got to do this, that, and the other. But the way that y'all been doing it has not been working. That's the point that I'm trying to get across. If it's not been working, then something has to change. I'm not saying abandon education. I'm saying there has to be some type of adjustment. Do you understand that?
Which is
Well, that's why we're here discussing it. And that's why I'm saying that Harmony, looking to get out of school and spend 3 years playing around, it's not the way to do it.
okay. I have something to say though.
Go ahead.
Okay. It's not experience though. From what I've seen in school, there are still some ladies that get married while in school, but that is obvious that it's a distraction for them. It shows because you see a pregnant woman coming to school. Like with your pregnancy, you're coming to school, you're using the stairs, you're learning, you're stressing yourself, and you go back home to your husband. And I don't understand. You prefer your wifely duties. It's stressful.
Nobody said you got to
And
get
I
pregnant
don't.
while you're in school. That's why
Oh, wow.
there's such thing as called planning.
In Nigeria, you get
Wait,
pregnant when you're in school.
like, okay, she just got married this month.
So you're telling me
Do
there are
That's
no
what
you?
she
contraceptives in Nigeria?
Yeah. I don't know, but the men
said.
just want children immediately. Like, we are getting married
Thank you.
next
If
year.
you are married, if you use contraceptive,
You're
it's taboo.
No,
It's
no,
like
no.
taboo.
A man, I already know a man ain't gonna be about using a condom with his own wife. That's not what I'm saying. When I say contraceptive,
I know.
okay. Like a pill, like not even pill, like they got like a needle, like a shot that's supposed to last what, like 6 months, 2 years, stuff like that.
I don't think they need that because 80%, no, 90% of the married women in school are with
95,
kids. Oh, thank
95%.
you. Are with kids.
95%.
All right, listen to Harmony. Let's take her. Jenny, you what, 22?
21.
21. How many years you got left in school?
I
Last
have
year,
months.
Huh?
Mom.
Months. Just months.
So I don't get this problem with being pregnant in school. Just wait till you out of school. She's getting out of school at 22. I mean 23. You're getting out at 21. So that's really not the issue
Yeah,
then.
hopefully.
So that's really not an
Hopefully.
issue then. You out of school at the age of 21, so you're not worrying about that. What I'm talking about is
Yeah.
people who spend 4 to 8 years in university over here and not getting out of school till they're 26, 27, 28 years old.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So
Not
yeah, your
That's
the way that it's structured there in Nigeria, because after that, then y'all go do some service and all that other type stuff. It's very different. The workings are very different over here. So I get that. I get what you're saying. So I'm not saying that you should go at 18, get married, and get pregnant by the age of 19 and be going to university. That's not what I'm saying. I think the miscommunication is because of the difference of how we work here in America, how you work there in Africa. All right, let's put it like this.
Okay.
Let's keep it with Harmony. Harmony, you'd be out of school at the age of 23, right?
let's just put it that way. Yes, 23.
All right, 23, 22, 23, whatever. Split the difference. But you already stated that you want to take 3 years after school until you go, not until you get married, until you even go looking for your husband. That's the issue.
No. Until I get married, I can have someone that I am serious with during that year, those years. But if I want to get married, I don't want to get married that early. No.
Well,
No.
I feel I can call it fright or I don't know if I should call it this marriage phobia or something. But there's a lot of failed marriage this era
Oh,
or this period, so it's
in
frightening.
Nigeria,
So people
Yeah,
are really
but
frightened
ho,
about
ho,
going
ho. The
into it.
thing is, if you look at marriage that way, going in it, oh, there's a lot of failed marriages. I might be divorced by 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Why get married in the first place? If you go in with that thinking, you already lost. You can't worry about.
No, I'm
Yeah, so don't use the excuse that
yeah,
a
I'm
lot of people
giving
get divorced.
distance. No, I'm
Forget what
giving
other people do.
distance. Well, some people actually do consider distance before, like they actually think of distance. I'm giving you instance that people would actually think. I'm not speaking for myself here.
Harmony,
I'm
do
trying
you
to
think
think like
like
other
that?
persons. So,
Do you think like that? She's
yeah,
she
you need
she
to be
want to say no. She
flexible.
want to say no. She want to tell you that she don't think like that. She got the mindset like when I get
personally,
married, I'm going to stay married.
I yes, I am
No,
going to
I
stay married
know people think
forever.
like that, but like I can say that people are getting frightened because of the
Because
results.
most times, Jenny, I want to say something. Most times,
Okay,
yeah, some people they get married mostly because of what they are going to gain. Especially in Nigeria, I can say for most girls. Most girls are
sure,
graduated with
sure,
from
sure.
secondary school. They get married because of what they want, mostly because of the money and all they see in the guy. They don't really get married for the them love and all. They just get
Quality.
married
You
because
love pay
of
bills?
no, we are not get,
I'm
no.
asking you. You
Love
love
don't
pay
pay bills,
bills?
but
You love pay mortgage
yeah,
because of buy cars?
that's where the problem is. Even if that's why I'm talking about the extra years I'm talking about in my own, it's not for running around, it's for growing with the person. Exactly. Because I cannot say I'm in love with somebody and the person is not doing well, I'm not doing well, I'll rush into marriage. No, love don't pay bills. Like you said, love don't pay bills. So I won't just rush into something and I expect to
All right,
have
all right, all right.
children to bring them.
I get that. I get that. But what you're saying is you want to have it all. See, this is the problem. This have it all mentality. You want the man to be the provider. You want this, that, and the other. You want the looks, and you want to be in love. Where and what reality do life work this way? That's what I don't get. And what
If
reality
you work for
do
me,
you just say, hey, I want to be married. I'm going to be in love. We're going to have all this money. Things are going to be beautiful. Where did this way of thinking come from?
even if we don't have all this money, at least there should be peace first of all.
Yes,
Then we
yes.
have
All right.
the one
Yeah.
we can use
It
to
should be
take
peace.
care of ourselves.
Love, let me explain something to you. Love is something that has to be built. Love comes
Mm-hmm.
through. You ever see when, like, your mom and dad been together forever? I would say, right?
Eh,
What, 40 years?
29 years.
Wow.
Huh? 19
Yeah,
years?
29. 29
30 years.
years.
Good. You think
Period.
people like your parents that when they met and decided to get married, that it had to be like, oh, I'm so in love, I can't do without you. I have to marry. No, especially back in the day. You know that. There was an agreement. Hey, I like you too. I think you'll make a good wife. I think you'll make a good husband. I think you'll make a good mother. I think you'll make a good father. They say, you know what? Okay. It looks like it evens out. So let's get married, do this thing, and build on it. That's how it works. It's not about
People
being
that
head over
are
head. Do you know what happens when people say, "Oh, I'm going to get married for love"? They almost always get divorced. No, seriously. How many people you know say that we got divorced because we grew apart or I fell out of love? It's common.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
it's
Yeah.
common.
too.
Yes, because you can't. Love cannot make a marriage work, and that's what a lot of ladies don't understand. And they are the failed relationship. If you look at all the marriages that succeed versus the ones that don't, the ones who don't succeed are the ones who go in it saying that I'm in love. The marriages that do last, where you see those who together 30, 40, 50, 60 years, just like we talked about on the show yesterday, saying that, oh, I don't want to be like my mom or my grandma because she dealt with my daddy. My daddy went out there cheating, blah, 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 and they had their issues. But yet, at the end of the day, when we was on the show, doing the show yesterday, I said, did they stay together? Did they remain together to the very end? She said, yes. There you go. It wasn't about love. Love, you build a relationship that turns into love. True love lasts over the course of time. True love becomes unconditional. And when love is unconditional, that means you remain together through it all. That's why those marriages lasted. That's why they could go through all the drama. That's why daddy could go out and make another baby or have a affair and they get through it and they're still together. Because they had unconditional love, but that had to be built over the course of decades. You ladies are looking at life today like, oh, if I don't remain in love every single day of the week, 7 days out of the week, it ain't worth it to me anymore. That's why your relationships and marriages are failing. You're not looking at it with the right eyes. You're looking at it from the scope of this fantasy world. When you step back to reality, you realize those people might not have it great, but they understood what it took to remain in a marriage. They understood that it was for their benefit to remain together and for the benefit of the children, to have things to pass down to the children. Y'all not looking at it right. We got a whole lot of guests trying to get in here. I don't know. I think they dropped out. All right, we got a question. Come on. I don't know. Stupid ass question, so I'm not even gonna repeat it. All right. So anyway, how do you feel about, well, I'm pretty sure we're on the right page now as far as there's no way that you could wait to the age of 35 to go out and look for a man and expect to be successful at it. Are we on the same page as far as that goes?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. So what do we tell ladies today? What do we need to tell these ladies today, the young ladies, that all you guys are friends, know other people who are the same age, but you see a lot of these people going out making these mistakes. What do you say to your own friends? Do y'all ever discuss these things?
Not exactly, but I feel love is not enough though. So you don't look out for love at maybe
Because
first.
the type of love y'all talking about is really lust. Because
It's fantasy sometimes.
if it was love, then you would never be apart. You would never break up if it was love.
Yeah.
So evidently then it's not love, it's something else.
And you may be love at first, but you all fall out of love as things happen.
Huh?
I said it may be love at first, but then
No,
things
it's
happen.
lust at first. And when that lust wears off, then you snap back to reality and realize, hey, I'm not as happy as I thought I would be.
Yeah, that's when you build it only on
That's why I said it's lust.
think
It's not love. And in these
okay.
movies, this depiction of this movie, how Stella got a groove back, it was her about her being in her 50s, never being able to find true love, and going over to sea to Africa or the Caribbeans or whatever it was to go find love with a man who was half her age. It just doesn't happen that way. But people get influenced by movies and television and social media too easily. People don't want to live in the real world. Social media gives us this fantasy. Movies give us this fantasy of how things could possibly be, but it's not reality. Life is hard. Marriage is even harder. You gotta do it for the right reasons. And you ladies today are not doing it for the right reasons. Y'all doing it to be happy. Y'all doing it to be happy. And that's the wrong way to go about it. You become happy when you become successful at it. You don't expect to be happy going into it. You become happy when you build on it. You become successful in it. That's how it's supposed to work.
True. I believe in building it though. So true, I'll go with you on that.
All right. So one person's asking what this live is about. It's about what we're talking about. You know what? I forgot to put a title on this. How Stella couldn't get her groove back. That is the discussion for tonight. We got a whole lot of people in there. Let me see. And we bounce this right over to our YouTube channel, The Marion Ghana Show. I'm trying to figure out how to do this. All right, we're going to get Harmony back in here first before we get somebody else on.
And because of these late marriage and all that in women's aspects, that's why when to some certain age they have to freeze. They have to let their
Yeah, we
eggs.
talked about that.
Yeah.
Was the show for the last 2 days. The last 2 nights we discussed that about what was it called? Surrogate pregnancy.
Yes,
Yeah, which
surrogacy.
is I wish you was here for that show. But we'll do it again. We'll discuss it again, but not tonight. But yeah, I had some fun with you talking about that one. But
Got me so mad. Jenny was there. She saw everything.
Yeah, I watched it.
yeah, it was a great show, great show, great show. But
Yeah, he was talking about male child and female child, and I was like, I just burst out.
Yeah, that was more like an argument.
I just I
Mm-hmm.
just burst out.
yeah, but you see where it led to. Let's just do a briefing on it real quick.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, what I said is that if a woman is not able to give a man a child, the man has the right to choose whether he will go elsewhere, remain in the marriage, but go elsewhere and have it with another woman. But also, he will have the right to decide how he will impregnate her, whether it's through insemination or natural.
Let me bring
No what?
Yeah, you the way
No what?
the traditional one he's talking about, he means the guy laying flat on the ladies, like having intimate sex, like a passionate one with the extra to have a baby. He doesn't want the sperm to be doing
You know what's funny? You know what's funny? When I asked her on the show, I said, "Hey, if you're okay with that, then you're okay with telling your child when they come of age that, hey, you were made in the laboratory." And she said, "No, I'll hide it." But yet,
who
you
was
think it's okay to do it that way, but it's not okay to tell a child that that's how they was conceived. I would never allow my child to be conceived that way, ever.
adopted kids are not being told where they really came from. So why would you say such a sensitive thing to a child?
Well, personally, I would never allow that to happen anyway, so I'm not in that boat. I would never, if my child is not being conceived naturally, then he or she's not being conceived at all.
It's a natural way. It's just a transfer. Transfer is like flower. How you transfer the pollen grains
Like
from
I
the
said, sex is
just thing.
just as much as physical as spiritual.
And you know that
So,
the traditional way you were talking about, You don't just go lay on top of the woman and then just ejaculate. It doesn't happen like that. You have to touch.
Actually, that is how
So
pregnancy happens.
you want to experience the
That
good
is how a pregnancy
that's
happens.
gonna cheat.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You try to find an excuse to cheat.
Oh, whatever. All right, but that was we had a great show the last few nights, man. So if you want to check it out, you go to our YouTube, the Mary and Ghana show, and check it out over there. But like I said, man, did we get an hour in yet? Oh, I think I got my hour. All
I
right.
think
Anyway, so I think we don't have any other guests coming on. I think that I'm gonna leave it here. Let's see. All right, so I don't know who this is. I'm not bringing anybody on who has a blank profile picture. Don't know what's coming up on the screen. All right. So any last words? So are we? Where don't we agree on? Let me leave it like this. Harmony. What aren't we in agreement on? Where's the disconnect? Is there any disconnect, or we all on the same page?
I don't even know the page we're on right now. I don't know the page we're on.
We're on the
Okay.
page that when you get out of school, you need to start looking for your husband and find him and marry him, and don't sit around wasting time.
Okay, I feel I can still find a person in school because that's the plan. That's everybody's plan. Find someone in school that you're sure of that you can grow together.
See, this is the problem with that. Who's that? Jenny, you just came in.
Your voice,
So drop off. Because there's an echo.
yeah.
Mine?
Yes, echoing. Yes, echoing.
Yes,
Is it okay now?
I'm hearing an echo.
No.
Jenny, drop off for a second.
Okay.
All right. Let me tell you why. We got one more guest coming in. Let me tell you why. Because of where you are. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
Maybe he can hear you.
Can you hear? My guy, can you hear? I mean, my man, he just gonna stare or what?
I think he's commenting around there. He's from Pakistan.
Yeah, let me see how to do this thing. All right. Who the? See, this is why I don't like having to go through all this.
Yeah, he looks like he's from Pakistan.
Yeah. All right. So how the hell do I kick this guy out?
Oh, okay. Did you see his message? He said he doesn't speak English.
Oh, that's what he said.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Okay.
We're gonna need you to drop out because I don't want to block you. So we're gonna need you to drop off.
He said he can message.
We need you to drop off.
Text him. Send him a message. He
No, I'm
doesn't.
not writing any. I'm not taking my time to sit out here and write nobody no message. All right. So, but I'm up here wasting time trying to figure out how this thing works. Oh my goodness. All right. This is like wasting a whole lot of time right now. Oh, okay. I think I got it. No. All right, I got it right here. All right. Never had to kick nobody out, but now I have.
You took him out?
Yeah. My man don't speak English. Like, I'm not going to sit there and be writing messages back and forth on a live show. I mean, come on now.
But how
Be
does
serious.
he learn English but he can write? I don't get it.
I don't know. Yeah, that's kind of funny too. He can't
Yeah.
speak English, but he can write English. Oh no, he probably was using a
It's
translator. Yeah,
translator.
he was probably using a translator.
Oh, okay, right.
All right. What I was saying with you, Harmony, I told you that there's one problem with doing it the way you want to do it. And you
Okay.
said you said a lot of y'all girls in secondary school, whatever it is, y'all find y'all husband while in school. The problem with that, we talked about this on many other shows before. The problem with that is this. If you're looking for a male provider who's very productive, who is capable and able to provide for a family, you're not going to find that in a 20-something-year-old man.
That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not looking for a provider personally. I'm not looking for someone to provide for me. No,
Like,
not at all. No. I won't even want it. No.
So what are you getting married for?
I
What's the
won't.
purpose of your marriage?
I don't know. It's not for someone to provide for me. No, and that's why I said I'll. Okay, let me put it this way. When I said grow together, person will have his. I'll have mine. Like my parents now. I use my parents as reference every time. My dad has what he's doing. My mom has what she's doing. So when most of the times when my dad can't provide for it, my mom helps out. When my mom is down, my dad helps out. So it's like both of them, they're doing it together. It's not just on one person. That's something I will not on just it should not just be on one
I
person.
get what she's saying. She wants normal everyday marriage. You know, not worrying about the houses and cars and nothing like that. It's an average. It's an average lower class, lower middle class, I would say. Living, simple living. So nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. So I'm glad you said it, so that at least a lot of other ladies out there could see that it's okay to be simple and lead a simple life. You don't need cars, you don't need beautiful houses, you don't need none of that to be happy. Some people are happy with just being with the person that they want to be with. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that. The problem is that in our society today, that's not the norm. It used to be the norm, but it's no longer the norm.
That's the problem.
Yeah, it is a problem. But if you're going to do it that way, there's nothing wrong with that. But still, you will do better to. Do you believe it's a beautiful gift for you to hand your virginity over to your husband? Huh?
Yes,
All right
for
then.
sure.
So you keep saying that anything can happen, but why are you going to spend 3 years after school before you want to be married?
That exactly that's the part of growing myself and having something I can do for myself. Not necessarily mean I'm going around to have fun with other people.
All right. So, well, there's a disconnect then. So I didn't understand, but now I understand. But you speak in vague terms like, oh, anything can happen. Oh, anything. I mean, yeah, that's pretty vague. Don't you agree? All right.
Yes,
As long as
my
at the
bad.
end of the day you're still planning to hand your virginity over to your husband, then you'll be fine. But there's a story about how old was she? I'm gonna say that 37. A woman who was a virgin, 37 years old, waited to 37 years old, never had sex, virgin. But the problem was no one would marry her. Now she wanted, the men that she wanted to marry wanted sex with her. She didn't want to give sex to anybody before marriage. Understandable. Get that. The problem comes in here. She's 37. Even though she's still a virgin, she's 37 years old. And not being in a serious relationship for all of those years made her real socially awkward. You understand what I mean? Understand what I'm saying? It's very hard to go through 2 decades as an adult and never have a serious relationship, then turn nearly 40 years old and understand how to maintain a relationship. Relationship takes practice. But I think what I'm saying is don't wait too late. Even if you carry your virginity with you, don't wait too late. 25 is old enough. There's no need to go past 25. You understand what I'm saying? All right, so
Yeah.
now we on the same page? All right,
Yes.
fine. One last
Yes.
thing. Do you have anybody in mind right now that you're dating?
We're not dating. We're not dating. No, but there's
Somebody in
somebody in
mind.
mind.
All right, nothing wrong with that. You're not married. You're single
Yeah.
until you're married. This is what I always tell people. Doesn't matter how long you two been boyfriend and girlfriend, whatever. You're single until you are married. The commitment is made under God with marriage. Beyond that, you're single. But I want to ask you this. If, say, like you two don't move forward and it doesn't hit off, a man came from you from America. Say, you know what? I seen this girl on the live. I really like her. I really like her demeanor, her character. I'm interested in her. And he said he want to get know you further because he's looking for a wife. Would you be interested in marrying outside of Nigeria?
Okay, wait. I was married outside of Nigeria.
Do you have?
I don't know.
Basically, what I'm saying is, would you ever marry outside of Nigeria?
Anything can happen. I don't
You love that term.
discriminate.
Anything can
I
happen,
don't
don't you?
discriminate at
You love
all.
that term.
Yes,
Yeah, that's
I
your favorite.
love it because
It's your favorite one. That's your
nothing is
go-to. That's your go-to right there.
nothing, yes, nothing is certain. So if it ends up that I'll get married to someone not Nigerian, I don't have
All
a
right.
problem. I don't have a
Black American.
problem. I prefer Asian.
Oh,
I
damn!
prefer
She said she
Asian.
preferred Asian over Black American. Wow, wow. She said she prefer an Asian guy over a Black American. Damn. You hear that, fellas? So you ain't got no shot if you listen to this. So she already let you guys know.
I don't have problem with Black American, no, but I still prefer Asian.
Why would you take an Asian over a Black American? I'm curious. Yes, I'm
Why?
curious. Huh?
Oh, I don't know. I just prefer Asian. So okay. Let me say, since I've been growing up, I've grown up with most of us here we have this. When I say we watch movies and have different communications with people outside, so people, their families, they grow up with America and this, but my family we grew up with Asians, Japanese, Korean, Chinese, those three countries. Those three countries. That's our life was just centered around it. All we do was just so that's why I just like those
Okay, I was brought up around white people.
Yeah.
I was brought up around white people. The man who raised me was white Irish man. Didn't really mean anything. I still wanted to be married to a Black woman.
That's your own. Everybody has their
Yeah.
own.
It's the first time I heard this, so I'm intrigued. That's all. I'm very intrigued. Like, because it said that they try to make this claim, which is totally untrue, that a lot of Black men prefer to date and marry outside of their race. The majority of Black men prefer to marry Black women. But in your case, you prefer to marry out of your race than marry your own people.
And I believe my own people.
Huh?
It's not like I prefer to marry out of my race. If I'm given a chance to pick someone outside and pick Asian, that's just it.
But
So I still prefer Nigerian, Sha. I still prefer Nigerian.
so you prefer an Asian man over a Black man? Your preference.
If it's like, let's say, um, Black American, Asian, I
A
pick
black
Asian.
American is basically the same thing as a Nigerian.
No, 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 no,
No,
no,
no, no,
no,
I'm
no, no,
serious.
no
Me being a black American,
way.
I just want to hear this.
No.
What? Tell me your negative views on black Americans. I love to hear this. No, no, go. I'm gonna
I
let
don't
you.
have any negative.
I'm gonna.
No, I
I'm
prefer
going
Black
to let you
Americans
talk
to
freely.
Nigerians.
Freely. Doesn't even matter how bad it is.
I,
Tell me your negative views on black American men.
I, I don't have a single negative view, but I don't really have any negative view of
You can't.
Black American men.
How,
No, no.
you already made it clear
I
that you
just
do.
no. I said I prefer Asians. That does not mean I hate Black Americans. I just prefer Asians. Like
But you're
that.
not giving. You're using one excuse that you grew up around them. That doesn't. That's really not a reason.
No, I didn't. Not that I grew up around them. I grew up learning about them, learning everything about them. So my dad was, let me say, my dad is a judo coach. Yeah, my dad is a judo coach. So everything we do is literally Japanese, Chinese, Korean. We don't even watch American movies. I don't think any of my siblings right now they pick American movies over Japanese or Korean. No, I don't think
You're
so.
basing it off
So I
movies.
just I'm just saying I'm just speaking about
I
movies
grew up.
now.
One of my
Speaking
favorite
about movies
pastimes
now.
is to watch kung fu movies. I love kung fu movies more than anybody. At one point in time, I spent several $100s monthly collecting kung fu movies. The Shaw Brothers. I had one of the largest Shaw Brothers collection of all time. Didn't make me want to go out and marry an Asian.
Huh?
It made me want to understand and learn their culture. I was intrigued.
Yes, that's what I said. I love
To be intrigued
culture.
is not.
I'm very
You can be intrigued with
interested.
a culture, but still do for your own people. Do you do you
Mm,
do
I'm still
you?
picking.
So this is. I'm like I said. I'm throwing off a little bit. I gotta admit. Do you love the people?
Mm-hmm.
Do you do better for your people by giving birth to a black baby and raising it to be successful, or giving birth to an Asian baby for it to be successful?
Oh, I
You're,
don't know.
you're studying to be an
I don't
accountant.
know.
You understand how to solve problem solving and comprehension.
Yes, yes. That one is hard. I've
So
never
you never
thought of
thought of
it
that.
before.
You never understood that you have a duty to your
I've
own
never.
people. You believe. Do you believe in God? You believe in the God
For
of the
sure.
Bible, right?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
do understand that we are His people, His chosen that spread
Mm-hmm.
around through this earth. Knowing God and how God views Israel and all of His chosen people that spread out throughout all this world. You see that, you know that, you understand that we being God's people are an oppressed people, and we're going to remain oppressed until the coming of the Lord. Knowing that, you still had it within your heart to go and build something successful for another people who already oppress your people, rather than do something great for your own people. No, I'm seriously. It's something to think about.
Oh.
Then you got to look at how God looks at that. If you have no loyalty to your own people,
I don't.
how can you have loyalty to God?
Facts.
No, I'm just saying. Like, if you got up here and said that, hey, I love black men, I love my men of all sorts, but I was on this trip and I went here and I met this guy, he was Asian, and had no thought about it, but we just happened to fall in love and we got married. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that. But when somebody says, predetermined that I prefer an Asian rather than a black man like me so that we can give birth to black babies and add a positive perspective and perception on our community, knowing how we're treated around the world, it's kind of a problem with that. Just being honest.
I'd say it's my wishful thinking.
I'm just saying, maybe you want to give it some more thought. I can't tell you what to do. You're grown. You're 20 years old. You're able to make your own decisions, and you're going to continue to make your own decisions. Who you're going to marry down the line? Well, who you want to say yes to down the line? Because you're not able to choose your husband. Your husband has to choose you. You do understand that, right?
Mm. Kind of. Somehow, I'm
All right,
not really
let me explain it
understanding.
to you.
My husband has
Let me
to
explain it
choose
to
me.
you.
Yes.
You see this all the time. A lot of girls get boyfriends, have sex, do whatever, long term, a year, 3 years, whatever, and the woman's always kind of say, I don't know why he won't marry me.
Yeah.
The reason why she says that is because a woman can't force a man to marry her. Men give an offer. They place an offer. You, as a woman, have to choose to accept it or deny it. You deny or accept the offer. But men are the ones who place the offer. So men control marriage, not women. You can't go choose your husband. Your husband has to choose you. You can throw yourself at men all day. See, what women don't understand is men already predetermined the type of woman they're going to marry. We determine the woman that we're going to marry. We determine the woman we're going to sleep with. We know the difference between the two. The problem is y'all don't know the difference. So y'all think that every man who's willing to lay with you is willing to marry you. We don't think like that. We have a small fraction of women that we have a very, very small group of type of women that we're willing to marry. Everything else we're willing to sleep with. That's why most men sleep around until they get married. They're not saying that, oh, it didn't work out here, it didn't work out there. They already know that they're only going to stay in this relationship until they get X, Y, and Z. We as men, when we find the type of woman that we already had in our heart that we want to marry, when we find that, we get it. We wife it up immediately. Because those type of women don't last on the market for long. Y'all girls don't seem to understand it. You think that you could go, you like this guy, you throw yourself at this guy, and he has no choice but to marry you. Don't work like that. You don't choose your husband. Your husband has to choose you. Your job is to prep yourself in order that you can make yourself valuable enough that he will want to choose you over everybody else.
Yeah. But
Your dad don't seem like he taught you enough. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I mean, as a father to a daughter, these are the conversations that I'm going to make sure that I have with my daughters when they're of age. I mean, this is like class 101 that I got to have with them. They have to understand these things in order that they're able to walk down the right path and understand how it is, what it's going to take for them to get the type of man that they want as a husband. See, women like you walk around freely thinking that in 4 or 5 years, that man is going to show up, drop to his knees, and place a ring on your finger, and bam, boom, there it is. Don't work that way. You're living in fantasy. You got some good qualities about you, no doubt, but you need a lot of reality checks. That's the way I see it. You certainly need a lot of reality checks. And if someone doesn't give it to you soon, you're gonna find yourself in a hard space at the age of 25, 26, 27, then 30. I like you. I think you're very cool, no doubt. But I think that the way you think has disaster written all over it. I'm being honest. It has a lot of, no, I'm being honest. You have it has disaster written all over it in the coming years.
oh my God.
I would say this, keep watching the show. stay up with the show as we discuss a lot more topics that deal with how to allow women to have the proper perspective in order that they could place themselves in the right position and how to get the outcome that they want. And your outcome is not so extravagant like a lot of other people. Your outcome is reasonable, it's simple. You just want a boyfriend that'll turn into marriage. But what I'm saying is that even then, that man is not obligated to marry you, even after he sleeps with you. Technically, he should be, but the world we live in doesn't work like that. The best thing you can do for yourself is hold on to your virginity and make whatever man who says that he wants to marry you first. If a man meets a woman who says he want to marry, she's a virgin, he will have no problem wiping that up right away. Because that's what every man desires. So anything beyond that is just an excuse. And too bad that so many women fall for it. If a man truly wanted to marry you, and you said you're not going to have sex until after you marry me, and he gives you a hard time for that, he's not going to marry you. He's not going to marry you. Guarantee you. 100% of the times that the girls that you know who are in your classrooms, that you went to elementary or high school, whatever you call it, the boys that they laid with, who promised to marry them. So you thought, well, I'm going to marry him anyway. And what happens? He bounced. He ghosts her. He moves on to the next chick, whether it's weeks, months, or years.
Yeah.
Men know who we are going to marry the moment we meet you. And the first opportunity we get to marry you, we do it. We don't care about not having money. We don't care about none of that. We don't care about not having enough money to pay a bride's price and have this extravagant wedding. I married my wife 5 years ago in Ghana. I didn't pay no bride price because I didn't have the money then. I was struggling. I knew I had a lot of things that I wanted to do, but I seen her and I said, you know what, she'll make a good mother and a good wife. And I made it clear that I'm not going to be able to pay a bride price. That'll come later down the line. And they had to accept it. They didn't want to, but they had no choice because that's what I put on the table. 5, 6 years later, things are beautiful. Ups and downs, bumps in the roads, but it's a beautiful marriage. That's what I'm saying, that a lot of people do things backwards or the wrong way, and they get the wrong outcome. So that's all I'm saying to you. Let's see this last bit. Let me see. Before you go, I'm gonna let you go in a second. I don't know if this guy got a question for you or what.
Hi.
Welcome to the show. Are we getting people who don't speak English?
Non, tu parles en français. Tu parles en français.
You speak French. This is not a
No.
French-speaking show.
Tu parles en français.
Oh, I gotta do that. Well, I learned this like a second ago, so now I gotta learn it again. All right.
Tu parles en français. Ouais. Goodbye.
Bye.
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 Good night.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night.
All right. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it there with you, Harmony. I thank you for joining the show. I gotta figure out this Instagram thing a little bit.
Yeah.
But like I said, man, I want you back on the show. So whenever you have time,
Okay.
whatever subject we're talking about, feel free to come on and join. All right.
Okay.
All right. So you take care of yourself, but think about everything that I said. Okay. All right. Think about everything that I said and stay in touch with the show. All right.
Yes.
All right. Take care. Good night.
All right. Good night.
All right, guys. Here we are about to close the show up. I gotta learn how to do all this stuff, man.
So
Get
bad.
back on them YouTube streets. Harmony, you can hang up. You can click off. All right, Rookie, you too, because your thing is frozen.
Yeah, I just did that intentionally.
Oh, okay. All
Okay.
right.
All right, I'm
You
leaving
can
now.
drop off. No, we done. We done. Good show. Good show. Good show. Thank you for joining.
Okay, you're welcome.
All right. Have a beautiful night.
You too.
All right. All right, guys. So that's gonna wrap it up for tonight. But good show. Good show. We got off topic a little bit, but like I said, man, how Stella couldn't get her groove back, and I'm just like I couldn't put my lights on. Got my face looking all faded, so you're just gonna have to deal with it. But like I said, man, listen, hope you guys enjoyed the show. Just for today, maybe today only or tonight, we had to move the show from the Marion Ghana show Instagram over here to Marion Ghana dating because we were having technical difficulties over there. So that's why we moved the show over here for the night. Like I said, make sure you guys check us out on our YouTube, the Marion Ghana show. YouTube, and check back here or check back on our Instagram at the Marion Ghana Show for new updates, new shows, and new topics. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. This is your host, Stephen D. Lyles, and I'm out. Enjoy. Have a beautiful day.